Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. And to make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile.
I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
Now it's time for Believe in the ACC with our starting lineup. From Florida State, number 17, Charlie Ward. From Morehead State University, number 50, Lloyd Stan. And from Murray State University, number 2, Kendrick Haskett. Get ready for the best sports show about the ACC in all the land. Believe in the ACC starts now.
I don't know. Bill Cosby.
That's dangerous territory right now, isn't it?
Yeah, funny's funny.
Funny is funny. Shout out to Cliff Huxtable. Y'all know the foolishness is about to start. Get ready. Lloyd Spence, Kendrick Haskins, and I'm giving an early shout out because some of you from Tuesday, they're gonna be like, "Hey, haven't we seen that hat? Have we seen those gloves? Have we seen that shirt?" Yes, but I'm proud of my wife, and I promised that I'd give her a shout out on both shirts. I mean, both shows. So there you go.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. This ain't about y'all. It's about me and what I'm trying to achieve and get done and stack up some coins on. Okay, here we go. That is Kendrick Haskins. I'm Lloyd Spence. This is Believe in the ACC and another show which will be named later. Not right now. Later. But we're coming in hot today. I wasn't coming in hot. I was coming in. Why are you laughing? What you giggling about?
I was like, wow, later.
It's a tease. It's called a tease. In the industry, we call this a tease.
People who watch their show know what's coming.
They know. It's not much. I said it was a good tease. It's just a tease. It's a tease nonetheless. Okay. I wasn't coming in hot today. I was coming in very mild, and then I turned on ESPN as I do for final Thursday morning show prep. And the second thing that they talked about, the first thing that they talked about was this Peterson kid is milking the system and he's doing this and he's doing that. And I was like, hey, wait, what's going on? What did I miss? And then I didn't realize, I watched part of the game, but I was doing other stuff, so I didn't watch the whole game. Turns out that
there were better games on.
There were much better games on. This game was not very good.
That Alabama-Arkansas game was incredible.
Shout out to Alabama, Arkansas. Referees, y'all go kick rocks. That was awful.
Oh, just wait. I got a game for you from last night.
Okay. It's gonna be a fun show. But anyway, apparently Darian Peterson checked himself out the game. After scoring 18 points, he started having calf issues.
He scored 23.
Scored 23 on the total game.
3 points in 18 minutes of play.
And then started having calf issues. Now, to tie it all together, because you're saying, what does that have to do with the ACC? Well, a lot of players across the landscape of college basketball, top potential lottery picks, who have been having health issues. And the fan base is like, hey, man, paying you too much money to be having all these injuries, man. And whispers in the dark. I think this player is, his daddy told him not to play. And that's why he ain't playing.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that foolishness for about a month.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of conversation going on. And finally, the quiet part was said out loud this morning on Get Up. Between Kendrick Perkins and Jay Will. Hey man, these kids make way too much money to be sitting out games. There it is. Now we're gonna have that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I am I'll be honest with you, this is wildly uncomfortable. Because both things could be true. I don't think that they are, but they could be. They could be. There could be students. I don't know if it's Peterson. I don't know. I'll say this about Peterson. He's had a lot of things go wrong this season.
Mm-hmm.
So if one wanted to speculate, it would be hard. Though I personally don't feel comfortable doing that, it's hard to argue against anyone doing so. It's a lot of stuff going on. Michael Jordan literally had what is known as a flu game, even when it wasn't a flu game, it was food poisoning. But you understand what I'm saying? It's a wild. I don't know. How do you feel about this, Kendrick? And where is this going?
Well, it is because NIL has been thinking that people can't get injured. Like they're just sitting out because they want to get paid. I mean, I'm sure you can find some cases where that is the case, but not every player that gets hurt and sits out is just milking NIL money.
Right.
The Houston story is weird because this dude will play in games and just come out. And I don't know if there's a health issue that we don't know about. Bill Self's body language doesn't help the situation.
and gave one of the worst press conferences to defend a player ever. I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. And also, when you get to the tournament, you don't want these type of things to happen. Wait, what are you in?
Right.
Well,
the other part too, though, is like when you look at his draft stock, his availability is the knock on him now.
Yeah. And
so I'm like, now, do you really think that he's hurting his NBA stock on purpose? You know,
well, that's the part that makes it weird to me.
He's kind of sliding, and he's sliding in a lot of draft boards right now. He was the consistent number one, and now
right.
DeBonsa's probably going to take over that role, that spot,
right?
And because of his health issues, and like, you know, on one hand, it's like, okay, what's the difference between the number one and number two pick? I'm like,
right. I mean, what are we talking about?
But it's still hundreds of thousands of dollars the difference between the number one and the number two pick,
right?
So. And you've heard teams are questioning his availability. So if they are questioning his availability, don't you think he would try? If he was just milking it, don't you think he'd get back out there?
Well, let me drill down on what you just said. One of the things that is now prevalent with most, if not all, of these students now, they have what we all know is an agent. That agent is connected to various aspects of the next level of basketball, which is typically for these type of players, the NBA. you don't think that his agent has been I don't say contacted, but I'm sure the agent has put out some fillers because it's his job to know where his player is, how people are feeling about his player right now.
Mhm.
And I guarantee you they have gotten feedback, whether it be from the media or sources that are telling them your guy needs to play.
Right.
And now I'm going to bring it a little closer to home. Might be one of the reasons why Mikal finally had to, I don't know if Mikal is 100%. At this, usually in basketball at this time of the year, you're probably not. Nobody during the season is usually 100%. That's pushing it. 100, because that means you're not fatigued. There's no little nicks and, yeah, you're as close to 100 as you can get, but you're not 100.
Yeah.
But maybe he came back a little, because the noise was getting kind of loud.
It was, but at the same time, people forget Michael had back issues in high school and missed games in high school because of back issues, and he had a back issue that kept him out of games this year. And he comes back and averaging 30 points a game, and now all of a sudden all that chatter goes away.
He's back in the top 10. I saw him basically in the top 10 of most lists this week. I was like, oh, what a difference a day makes.
Yeah.
But don't take our word for it. Let's ask a coach, our coach, the coach, Coach Charlie Ward. Hello, Charlie Ward. How are you doing, sir?
Morning, Coach Junior.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great, sir. And we are diving into a very uncomfortable conversation, not just for us as journalists, but also for coaches across America. Is your player really hurt? Should you take him at his word? Are players being paid money and not living up to the financial responsibilities of their NIL deals? I turn it over to our coach, Coach Charlie Ward. What are your thoughts on the vitriol that is coming toward some of the players who are checking themselves out of games, apparently?
It's to me, like I tell my guys all the time, it's an integrity issue. And we're in this day and age, we're so well coached in certain areas to where it's hard to dispute the what you're going through. And what I mean by that is mental health is a buzzword. Um, if you have an injury, I mean, you can say I have an injury. Whatever that injury is, it's hard for me to dispute whether you have an injury or not. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to dispute if you're sick or not. And these things are starting to creep up, and just I guess every day it's been happening. I'm not saying probably it's been happening.
Right.
And not just in the sports world, but even at work. If you don't feel like doing something, you come up with a great excuse. And that's one of the things I'm always challenging our guys on is, it's hard for me to dispute that you have a stomach ache when you're going to be late,
Right.
to a meeting.
Right.
And so what I can't sit there and say, well, you don't have a stomach ache,
Right.
but there has to be, to me, there has to be some integrity about who you are and what you're going to be remembered for. Because if you know you're not sick and you're claiming that you're sick, that's just, of course that's a lie.
Right. Right.
And so there are some integrity issues that need to be, who are you and who you want to be known for. And I'm not saying people aren't sick, people aren't injured and what have you, but why are you, is it really true? That's what it really comes down to.
Charlie, I want to add something to what you just said, because I pointed at the screen when you said mental health, and I think there's a part of this conversation that is not being discussed enough. I do think that there is a mental health side to these sitting out games, and let me explain what I mean by that. If you're making $5 million or $3 million or $2 million, and things are not going the way that you thought they would go in a season, or you have a legitimate injury and that is taken away from your time on the court, but then now you're nervous because all of these things people are talking about you behind, they're talking about you on message boards and chat rooms. Are the chat rooms anymore? Well, Instagram or whatever it is. Your name is being bountied about on ESPN negatively. That would create some mental health challenges, because in an 18-year-old kid who has never had to deal with this level of scrutiny, he's going to feel a certain way about that. So, yeah, I think there's some legitimacy to that part of it, but it's almost like a chicken and egg type situation. Going back to what you said, is this because you're nervous and scared and you don't want to step up to the responsibilities that now come with making money in college basketball? Or are you legitimately having struggles and you need help to deal with what you're going through? This is a very interesting conundrum.
Well, that's a human thing. It's not just athletics. It's
Right.
you have people who are struggling with all of what you just talked about, even if they're not making a whole lot of money. So let's just be, upfront and honest about that.
Mhm.
And it really comes down to, are you willing to self-reflect on what it is that you are struggling with? Or, I know I had to go through it, going from not being a starter in college when it came to football to being like one of the guys where everybody's looking to you for, everything. And, there's some periods where you go through struggles where you're not successful. But I didn't really want the success or the not successful. I mean, I didn't that wasn't I wasn't really out there for that. It just happened and I had to work to deal with it. And of course, you have to take these things as ebbs and flows, and these are the things that's going to happen, and you have to be prepared for those things. And when it does happen, you have to have outlets to be able to share what you're going through, because when people come into a whole lot of money when they haven't had money, it's different, and they have to be willing to be coached through that, because if you're not willing to be coached, then that's when you start to go downhill with your decision making and all the other different things. So all of it comes back to self-reflection, when it's all said and done, and taking things as they come, whether it's good or bad, and understanding that it's only going to make you better if you get the necessary support needed to help you go through it. Because having success can be just as bad as not having, not playing up to your level. Because now, like I tell our guys all the time, when we had great success and we were 5-1 at one point, and everyone was talking about you're great, or y'all are off to a great start, which that is true. Now when you're on the top, people are coming after you every single game.
100%.
And how are you going to handle being the hunted as opposed to being the hunter? And so when it's all said and done, you have to make sure your daily habits, are the things that keep you where you are wanting to go. Um, and it's no different than anything else. You got to make sure your daily habits are there, whether you're getting the notoriety or not, or people are just talking about it or dogging you out, because that's just what life is about.
Yeah, and like we was talking about it just before you came on, Charlie. Part of it too is with the NIL and like people knowing that what these athletes are making. Now nobody believes anybody's hurt, and that part is annoying too, because like I look at the
Right.
Jaden Quayton's kid at Kentucky, they've shut him down. He tore his ACL in February of last year,
Right.
and he's a big guy, and so he came back for a few games and he went back out, and now he's milking the NIL money. I'm like, he came back about 2 months early and came back to play. Now he's back out, and it's you're hearing that about him. And then we was talking about Michael when he was out with his back injury, and fans was he's milking the NIL money, not knowing that the kid missed games in high school because of a back injury. And like when you saw him on the bench during that time, he always had a back brace on, sitting on the bench. And so, of course, all that talk goes away when he comes back averaging 30 points a game. And so there's that element of it too. It's like, people do have injuries.
Right. No, and that's why I say it's hard to dispute. Like you just have to take them at their word. And one of the things that I'm always challenging our guys on is if you're going to say you're hurt, then you need to go get treatment to work to rectify whatever issue, or go see the doctor or the team trainer. If you're sick, just don't say I'm sick and don't do anything about it. So that just, we just want to make sure we're working to help you in what you're saying you are, because we know that if you don't do anything about it, it's only going to get worse. And now that's where the conversation comes in. Are you really sick, or are you really injured if you're not getting the necessary treatment to try to help get you back, get you back.
And I think that's where the challenge is going to be going forward. The fine line between being above reproach and then also your accountability to your team and to that's where it gets really uncomfortable, because I honestly don't believe there are that many student athletes that are out there trying to milk the system in that way, because most kids come to college to play ball, whatever the sport is, football, baseball, basketball, whatever, because they want another career beyond that. So anything that would jeopardize that, I find that really hard to believe that they would just, but again, I don't know who's advising some of these kids also. I mean, maybe there are some parents. Like, it was weird the other day that, I don't know if you guys saw this article, but Flage Johnson, lost Kendrick. But I don't know if you saw this, Charlie, the other day, but Flage Johnson, the young female point guard at LSU, her mom got on Twitter or Instagram, or one of them, and defended her child against South Carolina, the loss of South Carolina, saying, "Well, my child was the best one on the court." Man, you don't have to do that. You don't. Right. That's not necessary at all.
Flage is perfectly fine. She doesn't need you to come caping for her.
Right, and she's been through enough. She's got a championship under her belt. I think she's okay.
So why was she trying to advocate for Flage being the best one on the court?
Because that's what the modern NIL parent does.
I think that's there's always a parent out there that does something. I mean, that's part of the reason why Michael was getting so much flack is because his dad will go back at people on Twitter when they criticize Michael. And sometimes as a parent, even though I can't really speak because I'm not a parent, but sometimes your baby is an adult now. They can take care of themselves. Flage's got a song with Lil Wayne. I think she can take care of herself. She missed a free throw at the end of the game, and I'm sure she probably got a lot of for that.
So that's why people were going at her, and the mom felt like she had to
defend her. And also, let's be honest. Flage is the breadwinner right now. Her mom,
and South Carolina owns LSU right now.
And South Carolina owns LSU. So, she's trying to protect the daughter. She's also trying to protect her client and the brand. So I get it. I understand. I'm not even mad at her for doing it. I think it's ridiculous. But because I don't think she needs to do it. I don't think she needs to. I think, though, the lines, that's what I'm saying. The lines are very blurred right now. And there's not enough people helping people to navigate these new waters, because they were never amateur waters. They were always professional waters. Now we've allowed this to happen in the amateur ranks with no net. You know what I'm saying? We're walking tight ropes with no net now. So there's no blueprint, or there is a blueprint. We just refuse to follow it. Right? There is a blueprint. We just don't want to follow it, or there's no governing body that can help protect it. Because if there was a governing body that could
made up of presidents
made
of
up of
NCAA
presidents and
schools,
commissioners, and anyway, nevertheless, we'll digress with that. But it's an interesting situation that's going on right now, and I don't know where we're headed. That's the thing, because at what point does the noise at Kansas get so loud that people start asking for, or start calling for things like breach of contract? We've already started calling for breach of contract when kids decide they want to transfer. That's already happening. But at what point does underperformance create financial tension at these universities?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dicey situation, and especially when you start adding contracts and money, and that's not just, like I said, not just in athletics, but that's in all walks of life. Because if you're making $1 million, people expect $1 million worth of work.
And there's no recourse if you don't live up to the work, Charlie. There's no recourse for the person giving you the money. You just didn't. They just lost $1 million.
Well, that's the same in every aspect of life, though.
It is, but sports is already an unrealistic place. Like, the expectation of a fan or even a booster is already unrealistic. Now it's been magnified times 10 because I gave you money for this unrealistic expectation. This should produce wins. Wow.
That's why I hate that the figures come out, because, like, as soon as somebody criticizes Kentucky, for example, they have a $22 million roster. First thing that comes out, and it's just like.
And by the way, how is that not a violation of the federal government, FMLA? How is that not FMLA? What is it called?
But all this stuff is going to be public knowledge, because it's no different than the NBA or
NBA and
NFL. I mean, all this going to be public knowledge to some extent. Some of it, especially now in college, we really don't know. Because there could be some extra. People are estimating what it could be,
right?
And there sometimes they only report what's on paper or contract, and so there could be some extra that could be made. But some of this is estimations, I do believe, as well, because you never, like, some people say, "Oh, he's making $3 million. He came over for $2 million." Well, we don't know. It could be $1 million and then $1 million somewhere else, coming from somewhere else.
Right.
And so that number gets out there, and it's like, is it true or is it not? And so we really don't know. We have an idea, but we really don't know the true value of the contract or the person, because they could be making, some extra somewhere else. But I'm sure there's some metrics to some of this stuff where people get, of course, they keep digging and digging and digging to find out how much and everything. So I just think we guys got to get to a place where, of course, is coming commonplace. These things are being shared, and we all have to have some semblance of accountability.
Yeah.
Because in the NFL, the NBA, you can find guys for being late, or whether you can find people for being late, and there's some structure to the discipline, and what have you. Right now in college, I mean, it's a hit or miss deal when it comes to accountability.
Yeah.
And it's kind of all over the place. One school can find, is finding players, another school, may not, because of liability, or, it's just a bunch of things. So there's no no common rules to govern, the actual sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the laws are different in every state too.
Right.
Correct.
So I mean, if it's not even right, if it's not, if it's not the same in every state on the law side of it, it's going to be crazy on the NCAA side of it.
Yeah. I want to pivot a little bit here, and I will publicly say, and I'll say this into the camera, I will, my two brothers here, if they would not like to participate in what I'm about to do, or if they would like to detach themselves from it, I'm not going to take offense at it at all. But I'd like to speak a little bit about our good friend Mick Cronin. For those who are unfamiliar with the story, the other day in a game where UCLA was getting it handed to them, there was a foul at the end of the game, and a relatively aggressive foul at the end of the game. And Mick Cronin decided to yank his player out of the game, his own player who committed the foul, out of the game, and kind of escorted him. He ejected him himself. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Never seen that before, but okay. Then, after the game was over, I think from what I understand, and Kendrick, you help me with this. From what I understand, it was a student reporter that asked this question.
Yeah.
And the student reporter said to him, what do you think about the chants that were coming from the student section of the opposing team? To which Mick replied, and Charlie, cover your ears, I can rat's ass about the student section of the other team. And I want to thank you for asking me the stupidest question I've ever been asked. Then Mick decided to engage the young man further and say something aggressively to the point where, how did he phrase it, Kendrick? It was kind of like he basically kind of mocked the kid a little bit. And the kid said, well, I was just asking the question. And then he said, are you raising your voice at me? He said, no, I'm not raising my voice at you. He said, there's cameras here. Everybody can see you raising your voice at me. Here are my thoughts. Mick, my guy, my brother, because Mick's a Louisville guy at one point.
Yeah, he was a Patino assistant.
He was a Patino assistant. By the way, straight out the Patino playbook, by the way.
Not to that extent.
Well,
and not to a student. Rick would never do that to a student reporter.
I was just going to say, Rick would do that to another adult reporter, but I've never seen him do it to a student. So that's the only reason I thought about that, because you and I went back in the text thread, and I was like, well, you're right. Rick's never done that to my knowledge to another student reporter. I've seen him do it to other reporters, but not but not to a student reporter. But irregardless of that statement, I understand, because ironically, this seems to be happening a lot. I'm looking at you, Doug Gottlieb. Guys are under the stress of losing, and I get it. I understand it is a stressful job. But to berate a young student for asking what is essentially not necessarily a great question, but it's not an awful question.
It's not an awful question considering what happened in the game.
Considering what happened in the game,
question.
It's a legitimate question. And so I take umbrage with that, because and the fact that UCLA themselves have not said anything to Mick about this, I take umbrage with them as well, because you can't treat people like that. That's not cool. That's not cool. And it reeks of I'll use this word. It reeks of a certain type of bullying that bullies typically pick on the kid that they think they can beat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this felt like. I'm not going to get any real repercussions from berating this kid, so I'll just go ahead and go after this kid. But he wouldn't try that with other reporters. And so I don't like that. I don't like bullies. I'm not a fan. And I the first thing that when I saw that, the first thing that popped in my head is you know what? This is why I trust God, because God knows where I'm supposed to be and where I'm not. Because there's no way I would have sat in that room and allowed him. And I feel a little ways, if I'm being honest, I feel a little ways about the reporters in that room, a little bit. Because I'm like, nobody's going to take up for the kid. We all just going to let this happen? Okay. So
Well, most likely, with it being UCLA, there's probably really not that many adults in the room because they're
great point.
They don't really cover these TV stations out there don't really cover UCLA because they got plenty of other stuff to cover.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Los Angeles,
right?
Before you get to UCLA basketball,
I'll never forget when UCLA played Kentucky in the NCAA tournament in Indianapolis and got in an open locker room, and I got a one-on-one interview with Lonzo Ball because they don't have any media.
Wow.
so
I just felt the way about
any other adults in the room.
I really felt the way about that. I was like, really, you doing this to a kid? Like, this kid don't deserve that. He's done nothing wrong. He didn't ask
adults don't deserve that. It's just like we hear bad questions. We hear bad questions all the time.
All the time. But
there's a decorum to how you handle it. And I'll cut him a little bit of slack because he is coming off a blowout loss. But because I know coaches who are as nice can be off the court, but when they lose, they turn into a totally different person. And
but that to me is the point. We keep giving passes to people because of the circumstance by which they do.
I'm not condoning it. I'm saying,
I know you're not. I know you're not. But what I'm saying, I guess, is unless we in platforms like this say, hey man, that's not cool. You owe that young man an apology, and a public apology, not a private one, a public apology. You need to go before a microphone and say, hey man, everybody has bad days. I had a bad day, and I apologize to that young man, and please forgive me. Let me have my human moment, and let's see if we can go further. Then we can move forward. But until that happens, I don't have really a lot of respect for you, man. That's not cool. That is not cool. So that's my moment. Charlie, if you would like to speak about it, you can. If you do not, we can move on. Because I really would like to get the FAMU update anyway. So it's fine.
No, I heard about it. And I actually heard it on College Sports Today or something with Rick Neuheisel and Childers. And they were talking about him. They call him Coach Stump a lot. That's their name that they call him. Of course, Coach Neuheisel knows him. So it's just unfortunate that we get caught up in these moments, and I don't personally know if he knew if the guy was a student or not. I don't know what that looked like because a student could look like an adult. We never know about that. And then, of course, the emotional part. So it's always, it's always important because as you go through the season, as you go through life, you have these moments where things may not be going according to plan, and your frustration, whether it's with your team, whether it's, everything, you just become irritated. And then you start, lashing out. And this is not just specifically to him. This happened to all coaches at some point. And unfortunately for him, it's just been where he's been talking a lot about certain things, in the media.
Yeah.
And of course, it comes across, and it may be complaining, but it may be just sharing issues that he may be going through. He's just sharing them publicly. And when you have the mic, you have a choice. You're always promoting. You're always, sharing things that you may want to put out there. And so I guess this is just his way of sharing those things. And in the process, sometimes you do have moments where you're very disrespectful or rude in the process. But I agree with you as far as, coming out and saying, apologizing for, his actions and what have you. I'm not sure if that's come out or if he's done that. Maybe he did it, in a different manner. He may have written or had someone write, and had someone or may have written the guy a letter to apologize or send it to the school, or whatever it may be, to do that. We don't know.
Yeah.
That part may not have gotten out. So we just have to take it for what it's worth, and hopefully it's a great learning lesson for all of us. To know that we have to be respectful to people because you never know who they are. I mean, whether it's an adult or a student, it shouldn't matter. And these things do happen. Where you're rude to people, and you just have to make sure you apologize for it.
I agree. Let's get to the
I
fan
remember
mail.
for some reason, real quick.
Yeah, go
For
ahead,
some
go ahead,
reason, the Rick Pitino story popped in my head. Remember the game they played, and like a cheerleader thought the game was over, and he went out there and grabbed the ball and threw it in the air, and it resulted in a technical foul. So of course Rick was livid.
Yeah.
But Rick called that. He got that cheerleader's phone number, called him, made him feel better. It's like, just don't let it happen again. Blah blah. And
Right.
and it's instead of just letting the kid have it, Rick, soothed the kid and made the kid feel better. So that
Right.
story just popped in my head about Rick.
Yeah, you can fix it. Like just do right by the kid, but also I think the importance of a public apology is that it allows for because the moment went viral, and so you can't take back the virility of it. You cannot undo that. So now let's do something. Maybe it doesn't match the same intensity of the original viral moment, but at least it kind of softens the blow of the original viral moment by adding something to say, hey man, that's on me. I made a mistake. So that's all I'm saying. Just like you said, accountability. Let's be accountable.
I mean, just be honest. I mean, and plus it would probably help him because he's on the hot seat at UCLA anyway.
He is going to be fired if he doesn't fix some things. It is inevitable.
But it's a good look on him professionally if he comes out and apologizes.
Absolutely, 100%. But let's talk about some positive things, like this win at Alcorn State. And things are moving back in the right direction for one Charlie Ward. Although I will admit, Charlie, you got a tough stretch coming up here. This is these final 5 games are pretty intense, sir. Are you ready, Charlie?
I mean, we've been hot and cold here. Of course, last few games we go from 57 points to 100 points in one day.
Yeah.
We go from 60 points to 86 points in one day. And
As a coach, what's going through your mind when this is happening, Charlie? I'm just curious because that is some wild swings. I will admit.
Yeah, and it's been really challenging in the sense of just trying to figure out like what to do. I mean, it's always, when there's inconsistency, you're trying to find some consistency in the inconsistency, to eliminate the inconsistency. So just it's been one challenge after the other, whether it's challenging the guys, challenging the coaches, challenging us to find ways and to be better.
Yeah.
And essentially, our swings have been really, really up and down. Like even in those wins where we scored 100 points and 86 points or whatever it was the last game.
Yeah, 86. Yeah.
We were up big at one point, and then the second half, like in the game where we won 100 to 96. I mean, the team scores 62 points in one half, and
That's wild.
and so that is the tough part because the first half they had like 20 something.
Yeah.
And so that is where we're just trying to figure this thing out. Like we can't have these big swings, and it's just challenging because the guys, for whatever reason, it's not that they're not preparing. I mean, it comes down to, who when we hit shots or make plays,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier. But when we're struggling, we've struggled like to score, whatever that looks like, and so we're working to try to figure it out. If we can hit a streak where we don't have lulls offensively, we're good.
Sorry, I
But
think the word you're looking for is diabolical. It's diabolical that these things keep happening. Like, why are we not
I don't
able
know.
to sustain this? It's crazy. But listen, it could be worse, Charlie. You could let a team
Oh, no.
shoot 80% in the second half. I'm looking at you, Arkansas.
Or let a team shoot 60% for the game, Louisville.
Listen, you're not alone. It's happening there is a very unique parity that is happening to this basketball season that I don't think we've seen in quite some time. Like, it's the only team that doesn't seem to be experiencing it is Michigan, and I don't know if that's because they are that good or because their schedule has lined up to a place where they haven't had to be pushed the way other teams have had to be pushed. And so it's interesting because if you ask me today, and we're about to get into the conversation here in a minute of bracketology, I honestly don't know who the best team in college basketball is. I really don't. I can make a case for just about anybody.
Michigan
it's Michigan.
It's Michigan by record and it's by based on what they've done, then you got to say Michigan. But
it's usually how that works.
Yeah, but
they've beaten teams outside of the Big Ten.
Yeah,
they have. But it's no different than the Rams. I mean, the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, and then I don't know if they had the best defense, but I don't know. Like, they won. So that's all you can really say. They won. They were the last man standing, and so there it is. That makes them the best. But
I mean, they beat Auburn. They was 21. They beat Gonzaga by 40. Gonzaga's got 2 losses.
So the teams that they've beaten, they're 30-piece people.
Yeah. I mean,
they're not discriminating. Like, they haven't really had a close game lately, and it's because of the way they play. And that's what I tell people all the time. I tell my guys, if you're executing at a high level, the score will reflect it.
Yeah.
And so they've been executing at a high level, and the scores have been reflecting it based upon how they've been playing. So
I will say this. I finally got a chance to see Michigan play a little bit the other day, and I was impressed with their attention to detail, especially coming from their point guard. I can't remember the young man's name, but their point guard, he plays the game. Yeah, he plays it very intelligently. Like, he was making some passes, and he's a great shooter, but his attention to detail and getting people in the right plays and hitting his big man in stride. I'm always watching how a guy will hit a guy in stride, where the ball placement is on the pass. He was doing some really smart things. I was like, okay, this.
Well, that was the point guard that was at North Carolina last year.
North Carolina, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
He was in what commercials was those in? He was in one of them commercials.
But you know what's funny?
The hotel commercial.
Yeah. You know what? There's so much movement in college basketball now, and you see a kid move, and then it you forget that he was, you forget where he was, and I'm like, I've seen this kid before because he looks so familiar when I'm watching the game. I'm like,
you saw him on hotel commercials all during the NCAA.
I did. So that's where I remember him from. So there you go. But yeah, I don't know. But quick update that is going to or has already dramatically affected the ACC. Caleb Wilson is out indefinitely. They are not sure when he will return.
He says he'll be back. I don't know. A broken hand in mid February. I don't know. It's not a shooting hand.
When
so
does
there's
March
that.
Madness start? When is the ACC tournament start? Let's start with that.
Like 3 weeks.
I've never heard of anything healing that fast, but
It may be because we started in 2 weeks, so the 9th through the 14th, so it may be somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
March.
I've never heard of anybody healing that fast, but who knows?
He's young.
Who knows? But
They need him because them and Louisville are tied at 8-5 in the conference. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're tied for 5th in the conference right now.
And where is that game that Tuesday? Is it Tuesday that Louisville and North Carolina play?
Monday. It's at
Monday.
Carolina.
Okay. That's at Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Even with him out, they should be.
I don't know.
Well,
The way
listen,
NC
the way
State
Louisville-
beat them last night.
Well, the way NC
What's
State
that?
beat them. Go ahead.
NC State beat who?
Oh, they beat
North
the brakes
Carolina.
off of North Carolina last night.
Oh, did they?
So, but that's the first game without him. If
No,
I'm-
it wasn't. There was a second.
That's
No,
not the first. That's not the
they-
first one.
Yeah, they
No,
played a
it's the
game
second
the other
game.
night.
That's the second one, and they lost both of them.
No,
No.
they won the other one.
They won the other one. Okay.
They
I don't
said
know,
NC State beat North Carolina 82-58.
and it wasn't that close. If you watch the game, it wasn't that close.
But NC State is a mixed bag.
They are.
Yes, they are.
They are.
They are a mixed
Yeah,
bag, and if they're
Never
playing
know.
at home, if
Yeah.
they're playing at home, they're totally different.
I think
You
that
never
game-
know what you're going to get from Kadir Copeland from possession to possession.
Very true. Very true.
You know he's not going to pass it often.
No. Never met a shot he didn't like. Never met a shot he didn't like. Duke, Virginia, North Carolina, Louisville, and in the coaches poll, which I don't know how seriously anybody takes that anymore, but Clemson is number 23. They're out of the AP, but
They've lost the last 2, right?
they're on a little bit of a slide. They're a little bit of a slide. Ironically,
They've lost 3 straight.
oh, is it 3? Wow. Okay. And I think Louisville has North Carolina, Clemson, and Miami. So it's ironic that they have those games coming up, and these teams are not playing their best basketball.
Yeah, Louisville closes the season. They play Georgia Tech on Saturday, at North Carolina on Monday, and at Clemson, home for Syracuse, and at Miami. So
They
only got
need
2
and they
home
need
games
that.
left.
They need all 5 of those games.
Yeah,
They need all 5 of those games.
and it's attainable.
It's very attainable, especially under the current circumstances. So it's interesting right now in the ACC. Charlie, have we asked you your thoughts about Duke? And,
What about them?
And well, what do you think about them? Do you
They're in
think
the same. They're in the same boat they were in last year.
Ooh. Explain, Charlie.
I mean, their best players are young,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's if they can find a way, they can be in the Final Four. But will they have enough to be able to overcome, a more veteran team? But the young guys have played a lot of
They're carrying them.
basketball.
Yeah, they're carrying them. They're
We're
absolutely.
going to find out a lot about them on Saturday.
Yeah.
Duke at Michigan on Saturday.
That'd be a good one. That's must see.
So how do they manufacture that game? Did they just add it to the schedule?
I don't know. That's a great question.
ESPN has done some weird because like Louisville played Baylor in Fort Worth on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's I think I've noticed a lot of ACC teams have played some weird games this last couple of weeks.
And by the way,
Things out of conference,
Yeah.
they've done some out of conference things. But I was just curious, like, how do they pick these 2 teams? And I mean, I know they had already in the schedule,
100%.
but it's interesting that they would pick these 2. Now these 2 teams will have the game at this time when they're.
That normally doesn't happen. You're right. And by the way, they did Baylor no favors moving that game. Did
It
you
was
see
always in Fort Worth.
but did you see the arena?
That's on Baylor. It ain't like Fort Worth.
Well, that's
that
what
far
I'm
from
saying.
Baylor's campus.
Baylor should have fought hard to keep that on campus because that game, I was like, were the fans at Baylor not notified that this game was going to be going on Saturday?
I blame the Baylor fans. I mean, Fort
They
Worth
didn't show up to that game at all.
Fort Worth cannot be that far from Baylor's campus. It can't be.
No, it's Waco. Baylor's in Waco.
Yeah.
That's like a 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive. I mean, it's drivable. It is drivable. But I don't know why. I'm just not sure why.
There were Louisville fans there.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure why they moved the game at all, though. Like, it's not like
it's just a neutral court game. It was just
why do we need a neutral court game in February though? That's crazy to me. I'm with Charlie. I don't understand the schedule.
I don't understand it either. But I mean, it is what I mean. We knew that was the case.
Yeah, we knew it was coming, but it just seems weird.
That's why I don't understand why Baylor fans weren't there.
They were not there. They were not there. Can I throw out something real quick? Coach of the year in the ACC women's side, probably already decided.
Who is that?
Got to be Kara Lawson at this point, right? It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You would put Jeff in it if.
How many? I know they were on a winning streak. Is it still going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won 16 straight.
Well, but even beyond the winning streak, they started 3-9, or 3-6 maybe was. It's really impressive. Like, come on, we got to give.
Yeah, they were 3-6.
Yeah, that's. I mean, she's doing a thing. Like that's.
Yeah.
I got to give it up because I think there were some people that think at first she was in over her head, and maybe she was because it's a learning curve. There is a legitimate learning curve. But
she has good processes, though. I mean,
does.
You hear her talking. I mean, she has good processes. Of course, you need good players, which she's been able to put together. So, if you have good process, good mindset, of course, you surround yourself with good coaches and people, and the support needed from administration. You could, you can do a lot. So, there's no coincidence that she's having success. And, a lot of times it's about how do you rebound or respond, as we like to say in the coaching world. How do you respond to adversity? And when you're 3-6, are you you got to do some shaking up and those types of things to try to get people's attention, or you just double down and get better, learn from those mistakes.
Well, I think she had the quote of the year when they asked her that question. How did you coach them past the adversity? She said, well, one day at a time, because you don't get to tell adversity how long you get to stay. I was like, that's a bar. You listen.
That's a bar.
Sitting at the method man. That's great. Okay. So let's look at a little bit of bracketology. We usually do this on this show every year, and right around about this time, we take you into the mind of those who are looking at all aspects of college sport or college basketball, and none greater than the great Joe Lunardi, who doesn't get it wrong a lot, but let's be fair, it's kind of also self-explanatory at some points. But this is what he has so far as it relates to the bracketology, and we like to look at the specifics of.
Ooh, I like what I see there.
Yeah, over in the Midwest, he's got a NC State, who we just spoke about, taking on Michigan, and or potentially taking on Michigan in that particular bracket. He's got Duke with UT Martin, Iowa, Texas, Louisville, all of them are in this bracket in the Midwest. And let me see if I can get this a little bit. There you go. Is that better? Can you guys see that? Okay, there we go.
I can see it fine.
All right. I don't hate that.
I love a trip to San Diego.
I figured that's where you were. I figured that's what you were headed.
I picked a good year to go with Louisville this other tournament.
It's clear where the other intern is going. So
I'm going with the Cats.
No, without question. But yeah, that feels
And that's
interesting to
doable for
me.
Louisville. I think Louisville can come out of San Diego. I mean,
That'd be a good draw for them. That'd be a great draw.
Vanderbilt will be tough. I mean, Liberty will be tough, but I mean, I think Louisville can beat those teams.
There are no walks in the park for anyone, I don't think. When you go into to the other,
Missouri had a good win the other night against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's kind of regressed as the season's gone on.
I mean, it was a 1-point win, but I wouldn't call that regression.
No, but overall, they the
Oh,
way they started the season and where they're at now is
they've got Clemson in going to St. Louis, North Carolina going to Tampa as a 6th seed. SMU I'm trying to be nice, who were gifted a wonderful win the other night against Louisville.
Hey, they made the shots.
They made the shot. You can't take that. Listen, it's all about putting the ball in the hole. So they did that. They did that. So, but that win is probably a critical win that's going to help them to solidify at least getting in. As long as they don't slide, as long as they don't have a late season slide and a horrific ACC tournament, they're probably going to get in. It is crazy to me to think that legitimately 3 conferences are going to get somewhere between 24 and possibly even 27 spots in the ACC, in the NCAA tournament, which is wild. But that's where we are. The SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12, they probably got a lot of spots locked up. So, other than Duke, anybody else have a chance for a
He
top
still has
14?
UConn as a 1 seed, huh?
I think this is just because he hasn't updated it yet.
Yeah, because they lost last night at home to Creighton.
I don't think that's going to hold. Virginia as a 5 in Philly. Miami as a 9 in San Diego. Let me see. Anybody else? Are we missing anybody? No, I think that's it as far as the upper side of that bracket. And then in the other side, we've got, where are we at here? That's it. I think that's it. So that puts the last 4 buys in the for Texas A&M, UCF, Georgia, USC. Last 4 in UCLA. He still got UCLA. Again, I think it's probably because he hasn't had a chance to update yet. So we'll hold off on that because I would think they're probably on the last 4 out now, and they probably have switched places with Missouri. Virginia Tech, UCLA.
Oh,
I would think their last 4 out.
Is Miami in?
Miami's in.
Yeah.
He's got them in as a 9 going to San Diego against potentially Arizona, or if they can get past Utah State. But I think Miami could, if they can have a couple of more wins, they might be able to slide into a 7, maybe at this point. Maybe. I mean, listen, it's hard at this late in the season.
They have to make a run in the ACC tournament.
Right. Unless you have a run, it's hard to move from where you're probably being projected now. Most teams are probably slotted where they're going to be slotted. Houston as a 2 is interesting to me.
They'll replace UConn. They'll replace UConn.
I would think they're going to replace. Is Arizona going to keep holding on to this 1? It's interesting to me as well.
But they're the number 1 team.
They got a big win last night. They beat BYU last night.
Yeah. So. Is BYU getting their money's worth?
Yeah.
At this point,
considering that they're BYU,
they're relevant. They're relevant. Hey, they're relevant.
They
so
get
I guess
talked
that's
about.
Part of the,
I mean, he got 35 last night and it lost. So.
They needed it too.
Yep.
It's definitely not his fault. He's done his job.
With the Sanders young man out, he's gonna have to
Yeah, he's gonna have to carry the load.
carry that load more.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely carry the load. So it's
He was already
interesting
doing it
time.
with Sanders there, but yeah.
Right. I'm not sure Sanders might be the X factor of that whole situation right now because I don't know what's going on with him. But nevertheless, you know, they are where they are. They're gonna get in. They're gonna get in because of the TV.
They'll get in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ranked number 1 right now.
Yeah,
23.
They're sliding. You know, if you want to say that, they're sliding.
Yeah, they'll win. Let's see where they win. Ooh,
but also
their
can win
schedule's brutal because I mean they played at Arizona last night and then they play at home against Iowa State.
That's not. Yeah, that's tough.
But
also, listen, March does weird things. And that kid is talented enough. Who knows what could happen? He could put them on their back and they make a run and win the whole doggone conference. You just never know.
I mean, after the Iowa State, the rest of their schedules went when they UCF at West Virginia, at Cincinnati, and then home.
Those
are
all
Tech.
Winnable games. Yeah. Well, maybe Texas Tech could be. You know.
Well, without Toppin, I mean, that becomes more winnable.
Heartbreaking that
Toppin's
out. Yeah.
That was tough.
I like that kid. I love this game. That kid.
Yeah. Now he should get another year. He should be offered another year.
He's gonna rehab that knee in an NBA locker room.
Well, probably. But I'm just saying situations like that.
He fooling with college. He could have went last year. So he ain't fooling with college no more.
I agree. But I'm saying if he said I'd like another year, I think that's fine.
Oh yeah, you get it.
Guys who are saying 9 years, hey man, come on, man. It's time.
It was a guard I saw the other day. I was like, man, I remember him from 3 schools ago. With Copeland.
I remember him from 3 schools ago. That's an awful statement.
Copeland at NC State. He's been at NC State, McNeese State, Syracuse.
Not that he's the kid that's still on campus and you walk past him in the lunchroom going, "You still
here?" Yeah. Yeah. We had like 3 or 4 of those at Murray.
Wow. Yeah, we had a bunch of more here.
They were there the whole time I was there. Before I got there.
I'm thinking of one right now. That joker stayed forever. I was like, hey man, I feel like at this point you don't want to graduate. You just
I'm gonna name a dorm after you.
That's what you're doing. Like, what plan are you on? Like, what are you talking about right now? I'm gonna check your whole program. This is crazy that you're still here. Okay, Charlie. We've ignored it for most of the program, but I have to know where are you, Charlie? Like, this is. Are you in Mississippi? Are y'all playing tonight? Is the game tonight?
Yes. We're home.
We're
home this weekend.
Okay.
We're playing the Alabama schools.
Alabama schools are coming to Florida in what Charlie Ward likes to call the get back games.
We lost to both of them on the road, but still got to go out and execute. We struggled in the first game against Alabama A&M. First, again, our swings. They were up 21-4 with like 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and we ended the half 26-20. And they hit a 3. When guy hit a 3 at the buzzer, like a turnaround fadeaway.
Turnaround fadeaway is down.
So essentially, it was 23-20. We clawed back in the game, and then we ended up losing by like 7. No, it might have been more than that. No, 7 or so, because we kept clawing, and guy hit a late in the game, like 40-something seconds. We got him down, shot clock down. We down 4, shot clock down to maybe 2 or 3 seconds, they skip it to a guy and he knocks down a 3.
Yeah. First year coaching Blues.
And so that's just it's that whole deal. And but we'll be prepared and ready
There you go.
to compete and live with the results. We're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, you're not it hadn't gotten away from you, so that's good. That's
So
good.
we're managing.
I don't know how much time you have for us. You got some more time, or can we keep going to the other side of this thing?
What's the other side?
Well, the other side is our lovely Press and Pros show that we do. When we
Our
talk
NBA show.
Yeah. So
I got about 10 minutes.
If you want to feel better about things, watch the end of the Western Kentucky Delaware game last night because the officiating was awful. Worked out for our Hilltoppers. They were down 3.
Okay.
With time winding down, they call a foul on a 3-point shot where the guy was not touched at all. Goes, makes all 3 free throws. End of overtime. Western's down by 1. Same deal. They got all ball on the strip. They called a foul. He went and made both free throws and won the game. Now, shout out to the Western Kentucky kid. He made all 5. It was the same kid both times. He made all 5 free throws. But
there was a phantom foul in that Alabama-Arkansas game on that 3. I was like, did he touch him? And by the way, also another missed call in that game where the Alabama guard drove to the basket, crossed the guy over, and brought his other hand up on the cross like he was going to shoot, tapped the ball, and then drove to the basket, scored. They never called it. I was like, so these are very selective moments we're having here.
That's the thing that frustrates me the most.
Yeah.
And I'm always telling referees, like, hey man, just call the game. Like, don't look at sides and where you at and all that. Just call the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking for calls. I just want you to call what you calling on the other end.
Right. Right.
Don't bypass. Don't make us play through contact, and then you're calling these tick tack fouls on the other end.
Right.
Just call them the same way, and then they give you these good excuses like, "Well, I didn't see it," or "We'll keep looking for it." I'm like, man, y'all been looking all night, and you still hadn't caught it on this end. But
Charlie, you should say, isn't it your job to look for it though? Like that's really why you're here. There's no other responsibility that you have but to look. But what are you talking about?
But it goes back to the same thing. Like for my guys, they give me great excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's excuses that you can't dispute. Like one guy told me, well, you didn't see what I saw.
You can't dispute that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you dispute that?
Well, Coach, you didn't see what I saw.
That's an experienced ref.
And then, exactly. That's who he is. Yeah. And then I go back and watch the film. I was like, you didn't see what you saw. I'm just saying because after watching that film, there was 2 people in front of you, and you called a foul on the guy that was the last guy that you couldn't see.
I like to remind people that these games are recorded, right? The truth is going to come out. I don't know why you think.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, it always amazes me when a ref totally on the other side of the court will call a foul. I'm like, there's no way you saw that.
And by the way, the one that burns me more than any of that, the anticipatory foul.
That's what it was on that 3-point on the 3-pointer.
That drives me crazy. That used to drive me crazy as a player. Like, so you just gonna blow the whistle because you think I'm about to foul.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing now. We just making up moments. Like that's crazy to me.
And then the other one that he always says, I'm not gonna like that one. I mean, I like that one,
Charlie, you're on fire today.
but
You are on
but
fire. Let me tell you.
but I can't take it back. I'm
Can't
like,
take it back.
yeah, just call it a turnover then.
Yeah.
I mean, we have those coaches, players, everybody have turnovers, but I'm not asking you to call something back. Like we used to see this all the time. You make a bad call, you go call makeup call. You all
Makeup
heard
calls.
that.
Yes.
Heard that.
Yes.
Like don't go and make up no call
Right.
because you just made a bad call.
Right. That's
I
not good
said,
either. Right.
I'm saying, I'm like, man, just call what you see. Like guys be telling me, well, I gave you a jump ball, but your guy touched the ball out of bounds. I'm like, I appreciate the grace, the favor, but that's not the right call.
That's not the right call.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not here trying to get no calls from a team. Call what you see.
Right.
If a guy's out of bounds when he touched the ball, it's the other team's ball.
Right.
Even though we would love the ball, but to me, that's an integrity issue. Like that means you can make those calls at any time.
Mhm.
And you
That's
and
scary.
yeah, and we had this. I had this a couple times. Like a guy foot was totally out of bounds when he jumped.
Yeah.
He jumps out of bounds. He touches the ball. He touches the ball while he's in the air. He jumped.
Right.
His foot was out of bounds. While he's in the air, he hits the ball back into play, and it's a play on.
And you said,
Yeah.
so you said you didn't see that. That's what you're saying right now. You didn't see.
But I saw this on the film. Like I come back and I'm like, what are we watching?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's blatant. And they're like, oh, I'm still watching. I'm looking for it. I'm like, dude, what are you looking at?
Do you sometimes want to turn to the referees and say, this isn't a free ticket to a game. You have a responsibility out here to do your job. Like, can you please just do your job? It's not.
Yeah, I have some moments, but I try to make them.
Shout out to you for not cussing anybody out, though. I'm proud of you, man.
No, I don't do no cursing no referees out.
You should hear Jeff Walls.
Right. You are squarely in the minority on this, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure I am.
You are squarely in the minority. Okay. We won't even play the music. We're just gonna jump right in.
Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it. Charlie, what did you think of All-Star Weekend?
I missed it.
You missed it?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't, Charlie.
I didn't see any events live. I only saw highlights.
Charlie,
So I missed everything.
listen to me. You didn't miss anything. What's funny to me about this thing? This doesn't feel like it should be this difficult. Like, now I'm gonna give them credit for Sunday. Would you agree, Kendrick? Sunday was okay.
Sunday was
3
good.
out of the 4 games was okay. The final game was awful, but 3 of the games were really good and competitive.
They were competitive. I mean, they were like legit. It was late, like almost playoff atmosphere out there.
It was
they
nice.
Were competing that hard.
It was nice, but also the format is awful. It's a terrible, terrible format because you advertised for 3 weeks. It's the USA versus the world. The final game was the USA old versus the USA young. That's not what we signed up for. You had said to us in previous commercials that we'd get to see. Now, part of the reason why that happened is because the world was missing 4 of its best players. Giannis didn't play, Jokic didn't play, Luka didn't play, and Shea didn't play.
Wait, Luka and Joker played the first game.
I don't think they played, did they?
Yeah, they played in the first game.
I don't remember them playing.
Because they didn't play very long, but they did play the first game.
Well, because and I guess Luka technically is injured. He's got like a hamstring thing. And I think they're just managing Jokic's minutes because he's just coming back from whatever he was. But it was just like
that, and Jokic doesn't like playing in the All-Star game.
They don't like playing in the All-Star game. But also, you had said that it was going to be, you being the NBA, the USA versus the world. Why we just don't do that? Why we just don't play the game where it's just
Because they know what's gonna happen. They know the world's gonna kick our butt.
It'd be just like the Olympics. So they don't. I mean, they did advertise USA versus the world, but
a lot. They had songs.
That did happen. So
It
it wasn't like
yeah, he did
the
happen.
world didn't hold up their end of the bargain
That
by
is hilarious.
advancing. So I like I said, I didn't see it, so I can't have really a opinion on it.
Kawhi
But
Leonard had a stretch in that game against the world that was amazing, Charlie.
And by the way, nothing angered me more than that stretch. Nothing.
Well, he's I mean, that's who he is, though. I mean, he's a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
He can
He
go
went
get you
off.
some buckets.
Oh,
He
He
can go
went
get you
off
some
that
buckets.
he went plumb off. He went plumb off, Charlie. And
Did he?
also, nothing angered me more. Nothing.
Why?
Because, hey man, so can you do that like in May? Would that be possible? Can we get that?
Well, he's been doing it. Trust me. This year,
He's been doing it this year. Yeah.
yeah,
He does it every year
I've seen him.
until April and
play.
May.
I've seen him play this year, and he just. I mean, when he and Harden was together, they were like I told you. One game I watched, they were the only two shooting, and everybody else was getting the rebounds.
Yeah, that's usually how it works on that. Well, that's how I used to work on that team. Can I also make a suggestion? I have because if we're talking about ways to fix the All-Star game or All-Star weekend, I have a couple of suggestions. Number one, let's stop acting like the premier Saturday event is still the dunking contest. It is not. It is the three-point contest. That's the best event of Saturday. And now Damian Lillard winning that this year is as diabolical as it has ever been because he has not played a minute of basketball this season and may not play any basketball this season.
But
Probably
he can't do that. He can shoot.
Listen, one thing Damian Lillard can do is shoot that thing.
Mhm.
And he shot that thing.
Flip of the wrist. Yeah,
They'll do that forever.
Yeah. Listen, long as you can still do this.
They should have a retired players, like if you won the 3-point contest, they should have at least a representative.
You want Craig Hodges, the real
Yeah.
Craig Hodges, Reggie, take that suit off and get out there and shoot that thing.
That would be
Ray.
interesting if they paired like they did with Allen, and you know how they did the skills challenge.
Yeah.
If they pair somebody like that for a 3-point contest to combine their points, you know, put them on different ends, combine their points, and they kind of win the 3-point contest.
By the way, I don't understand the skills challenge at all. Or the shooting. No, they didn't even call it the skills challenge. They call it the shooting.
So they took away the skills challenge?
It was some weird shooting thing now. And it didn't even really make sense because it correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe my eyes and my mind are deceiving me, but I thought when they used to do the shooting thing, you had to stay at the station until you made that shot. And then you move on to the next station, and it was a time thing. This time it was a point thing.
Yeah.
And everybody got to shoot. And I was like, well,
that's probably better.
I guess I don't
because if you're at one spot, it's monotonous. Like,
but they only shot 3 times in each spot. So I was like, so is it a point thing? Because if it's a point thing, then let them shoot wherever they want to shoot, and make the point how many points they want to make.
It's probably strategic too, because if you're trying to get the most points, then you're probably going to shoot wherever you can get the most points.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the impression they were allowed to shoot wherever they wanted to. It felt like they had to go through each station, and then the last station was the half court shot. And I'm
so maybe like hotspot.
Yeah, it was confusing. But whatever. The who won? The Knicks won? Was it the Knicks that won it?
Yes.
I didn't
That's really all that Charlie cares about. The Knicks won. So
see,
fine.
Charlie
The Knicks won.
didn't see anything but knew that the Knicks won
He
whatever
knew the
this
Knicks-
challenge was.
Right, the Knicks won. That's all he cares about at this point. The Knicks won, and that's all that matters. So I didn't love that, but the dunking contest to me is the one that it feels like we've come to the end of the road.
Did McClung was he in
He
it?
wasn't in it. He wasn't in it this year.
Listen, what was I'm using diabolical a lot today. What was really crazy is that after the dunking contest was over, Matt McClung, who clearly felt the way about not being invited back, released 4 dunks on Twitter and Instagram that were all better than every dunk that was in the dunking contest.
Oh, so he released some dunks.
Yeah.
Were they live? Were they live dunks?
They weren't live, they were recorded, so I don't know how many times it took them to get them, but they were all better. Even if it took them more than one time to get them, every single one of them was a 50 compared to the dunks that actually were in the dunking contest. First of all, let's start with Jackson Hayes. Bruh, I know you had that moment under the legs in game. I got it. That does not necessarily qualify you as a dunker. He should not have been in the dunking contest.
Oh, they probably was
They need somebody in it.
straws at this. You know, at this
Why is it
point.
so hard to get from the mouth and the mind of an ex-NBA player? Why is it so hard to get these guys in the dunking contest?
Well, dunking takes a lot out of you, one. And so if you're one of the better players, you see it as, I mean, it's something you gotta practice for, warm up, and it can be difficult. Of course, like, well, Michael and all these guys did it. Well, it's a different time.
Plus, they're all
It's from-
Spanish.
And so I don't know. You know, they got the guys that I think they felt can enter it, but I would love to have seen McClung come back. I don't know if he's on the team or not, but he should be defending his title.
Well, there was a rumor that those guys said, if he's going to do it, we're not. I don't know how true that is, but
Let that remain as a rumor. That's
yeah,
to me.
I don't know how true that
that's
is.
not a
but-
competitive mindset,
Right.
and so that just doesn't sound right. There's somebody that would, because there's a lot of money on the line, and so I would have loved to have seen McClung, since he's won it the last couple of years, at
Mhm.
least to come back to defend it. I'm not, like I said, I don't know if he's in the NBA or G League or where he is. Maybe they got tired of the G Leaguer winning the dunk
That's what it
contest.
was. That's what it was. They tired of a G League winning. That's what it was.
Step your game up. Step your game up, NBA.
You know who would benefit from winning the dunk contest?
Ja Morant. I knew where you going. He should have been the first to sign up. He got to rehab his reputation. And by the way,
Yeah.
as we transition from the All-Star weekend, the rash of injuries, Ja Morant is out for at least 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
If I had to
2 more weeks.
If I had to guess, I think he's trending toward them making an announcement. That's what I think is why they keep pushing it back and pushing it back. Sabonis and Zach LaVine both out for the season now. Kyrie Irving announced out for the season now. Franz Wagner still out announced out indefinitely. I think at one point he was scheduled to maybe return, and now he's announced out indefinitely. To the surprise of no one, Embiid is out. No disrespect, but he's out.
Where is he? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, he's missing tonight's game with a sore shin.
Oh,
Yeah.
where are they in the standings?
They are right up there.
They'd be a lot higher if they could ever get their center to play.
They are 6.
They're 6. Yeah.
Oh,
They're holding on to the 6th spot. But Orlando's in the 7th spot, so there's probably no real danger.
I was going to say they can probably hold on to it.
Orlando is 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 4 teams that are behind them, there's probably no danger. Orlando,
Right.
Miami, Charlotte, Atlanta. Maybe Miami gets hot and goes on a run, but I doubt it.
I doubt
I doubt it. Steph's out tonight. Is it tonight that they play the Celtics? Is that tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Porzingis is back.
Yeah, Porzingis making his debut.
That'll be interesting. But what it feels like we're setting up for is a very significant summer, because I wonder if Kyrie, Ja, Sabonis, Zach, all have played their last games on the current team that they're on.
I don't think Kyrie has, you keep pushing for that. But I do think Ja's probably not going to play the rest of the season because they're going to get rid of him. And Sacramento.
Is Memphis in the playoffs?
No.
That's what I thought. So I wouldn't expect him to come back.
I think that's over. I think
I think he's played his last game in Memphis.
Yeah.
Sacramento, who you never know what they're doing.
You never know what they're doing.
So it would seem like Levine and Sabonis are gone.
They're dead last.
It's Sacramento. They may not be gone. They're moving like they're going to be gone, but who knows with Sacramento?
You know what's so crazy about what you said? All of what you said is true. They should be gone. They might be gone, but they're probably not gone. And also, they could be gone. All of those things are true. With Sacramento, they are the weirdest franchise, because you just don't. They say they want to win. They have a phenomenal fan base.
Just 2 years ago, it was like they were on the cusp. They had a great young core, light the beam, all that stuff.
When that place
they was pushing rocking, Golden State in the playoffs and all that stuff, and now 2 years later, they are dumpster fire.
When that place is rocking, it is. I would put Sacramento, when it's good, up against any arena in basketball. Like, it's a really hard and difficult place to play. It's the fan base is the definition of fanatical. It's fantastic, and yet they're like, we're not really interested in consistency. That's every now and then we'll give you some moments, but consistency, I don't think so.
I mean, because what I heard from a reliable source, the whole De'Aaron Fox thing was botched, because had you always been under the impression that it was Fox that wanted Brown fired?
Yes, that was the idea.
That was the sentiment that was out there, right? Well, apparently that was not the case. Actually, it was Malik Monk that wanted him fired, not Fox. So when Fox wanted that's why Fox wanted out, because the team never came to his defense when everybody was saying he was the one that got Mike Brown fired when it wasn't him.
Malik Monk wanting someone fired is the equivalent of Dalton Connect demanding a trade from the Lakers. Like, sir, the unmitigated gall. You don't have that cachet, sir. I'm right. With all due respect. Like, come off the bench and settle down.
That's what I heard from a reliable source.
Wow, that is.
That's why De'Aaron, because remember we saw on the show, it didn't make sense. Like, why would De'Aaron Fox get a coach?
It didn't make sense because
they want to get traded,
flourishing under Mike Brown. Yeah, they were the best they'd been in a long time under.
And then demanded a trade after he got fired. So it didn't make sense at the time, but now it does.
Now it does make sense. Now it absolutely makes sense. Wow. Well, I don't know that. Some of the stuff that goes on.
I asked this question, like, when will this because everything trickle down? I'm a big trickle down guy.
Yeah.
So when does this start to trickle down into college?
Ooh, good question, Charlie.
With NIL money now, it may
where players who are making a lot of money start complaining about the coach and the coaches or whatever it may be.
When the LeBron-esque player ends up at school X and does not have a great experience. that's when it'll happen.
Well,
It's going to happen, Charlie, to your point.
Well, only two reasons why I say it may not happen. One is because still the coaches are making more than the players in most instances, where that's not the case in the NBA. And two, the players aren't in college long enough to cause that much of a ruckus.
I don't think it'll happen at a blue blood, but I do think it will happen at a school like let's say like a BYU who stumbled into this particular situation. And let's say Dibanasi has an awful season, and it's all in his mind, it's all the coach's fault.
Hold on, what was that name again?
Dibanasi. I don't know how to I struggle. Listen, he's no DJ Uyagalele. He's no that.
It's just Debansa.
Is it Debansa? I said it looks like Dibanasi.
You made him like from the Ukraine.
Listen, they don't pay me to learn all the names. I'm Charles Barkley when it comes to these names, brother. I ain't gonna hold you.
Dabanowski.
I don't know. I am Charles Barkley when it comes to these names. Shout out to Charles Barkley, by the way. But yeah, I think it'll happen when a player of that ilk will say, this is all his fault. And I'll come back if he's not here. Oh, okay. This is an easy fix.
Yeah,
right?
that would probably be the scenario in which it happened. I just, like I said, the coaches are still making more than the players right now. And so, and the players are only, even if the player, well, I was going to say the players are usually only there for 4 years, but
if I'm being honest, I think it's more likely to happen in football than it is basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because Arch could clearly get Sarkisian fired if he wanted.
Without question. And make it depending on how the season goes. It's very possible that Sark could be looking for a job. So,
yeah, it's likely. Yeah, you're right. You dead on. It's more likely to happen in football than basketball.
If you know Texas,
they're there
football,
longer.
If you know Texas football, the clock has started on his career.
And they're there longer in football than they are in basketball.
100%.
That's true.
100%. So, but I think we're headed toward a weird switch of teams this summer. Like
this summer is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I think it's going to get kind of nutty.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny to hear Stephen A. Smith 2 days ago say, "There's absolutely no way the Lakers are going to get Giannis. It's just never going to happen." I'm like, it's happening right now in real time.
I would never say never.
It's happening right now in real time.
You cannot say never ever again after this.
So would LeBron James be on that team?
That's the X factor. That really is the X factor because
I saw the curve yesterday where they said they would welcome him back if he
I saw and I felt like that was PR. I'll be honest with you. I felt that was more PR than anything. I can't see unless LeBron is looks at his family and says, I don't want to do anything to disrupt my happy home. I'll take whatever I need. I'll do whatever I need to do to stay here. If he and that would be the most un-LeBron thing ever. Because he's not necessarily taking less money in any situation he's ever been in. So
he's going to next year regardless.
Well, he's going to somewhere. But I wonder, would he be willing to do that? And by the way, I don't know if those plans have anything to do with what the Lakers are doing with Los Angeles. First of all, Giannis in Los Angeles got to calm down. Because at some point, it starts to look like collusion. Like, he's all through the All-Star weekend. He's got he and his wife have all this time to be all throughout the community, and they're doing all these. Y'all got to calm down. That's
just the All-Star weekend, though.
Well, but some of it was like, okay, let's, And then the interview with Malika Andrews, Jesus, man. Like, as of today, I am a buck. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just say we've had some great times here in Milwaukee. I'm not sure what my future holds, but until it's decided, that would have been, as of today, come on.
Lloyd, we're in our 50s. Giannis
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Am I the old man now?
We old.
That's probably true.
We've
That
had
part
enough
is
life experience and seeing this stuff happen to know the right answer. He's like what 30 from Greece. He hasn't watched
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff all his life.
I'm like, this is clearly conversations are happening in the room that we are not privy to, and there's very strong discussion.
I'm joining Lloyd on this one. I think most likely he's going to end up in LA,
which is crazy to think about.
and I don't see how LeBron figures into that picture.
I don't either. I don't know how that works. Like, you can't pay everybody.
So you think LeBron would go to? It has to be a three-way trade.
Yeah, but I think we both think it'll be a three-way trade.
Milwaukee.
No,
we think it'll be a three-way trade.
He
Ends up living in Cleveland.
He and Bronny are going to Cleveland.
Only reason why I have a hang up on it may not happen is ironically, because of what you say, because of Zuri. You gonna pull Zuri out of her school?
That's why
and move her back to Cleveland.
Right. That's the thing.
Well, I would.
The two
I would
boys
say,
are grown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't care.
I don't think that would be a factor because as much as I think he understands this is probably his last hurrah.
Yeah.
They would probably keep her in school there.
Mm-hmm.
They may
And
not go back.
You
Yeah.
just have a condo in Cleveland.
and they would get a place in Cleveland, and of course they can always, it's just for them it's a jump in the plane.
Yeah,
I would
So,
imagine he
come
has
to
a place in
town.
Cleveland.
he'll just live in his place in Cleveland and
Yeah.
take the jet out to LA whenever he needs to.
Yeah, that's what I would think. So that she can keep her life, stable.
Mm-hmm.
And
But does he
because
want to miss?
It's only for a year.
But does
Yeah.
he want to miss even that? Like, does he really want to miss whatever's going on in this final? I mean, I guess, yeah, you're right. It is just a year, and she's still.
And I'm not.
really young.
What grade is she in?
That I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
She might be old school age, maybe.
But she's actively playing volleyball. She's apparently pretty good from all accounts. So I don't know.
He's probably missing some things now.
Stuff, yeah.
It'll probably be more, but like I said, it's a short window in the sense of it being a year. It's not like this is going to be long term.
Mm-hmm.
Does he want the tour? Do you believe he wants the tour?
Come on. He'll say he doesn't.
I tried to, I tried to hide my tongue in my cheek when I said it. You saw that.
He'll say he doesn't want it.
Does he deserve the tour?
Yes.
The man been playing for 30 years. He deserves a band, and on top of that, to go with his tour.
It's three people in the league right now that deserve the tour. It's him, KD, and Steph.
Yes, I agree. That's the list.
Right.
I would agree.
That is the list. Okay. Chris clearly didn't deserve the tour, apparently, because
he got the tour.
Not the tour he wanted, but he definitely got the tour.
He got traded 3 times
in the same season. Like this, what's going on?
I'm saying he got his tour.
This is crazy.
I mean, I've seen the NBA retire people before they actually retire, but this one was the wildest one. Because I mean, Rondo, the NBA retired Rondo before Rondo retired. They retired AI before AI retired, and they retired Chris Paul and just bounced him all around the league. That was crazy.
That's
I
when
saw
you know
Rondo
it's time.
last night.
He got fired on his days off. That's crazy. Like
I've
That's
never
when you know
seen a
it's
guy
time to
get
move.
sent home.
it was time.
Time to move on out.
And shout out to Chris for recognizing. Oh, so y'all don't want me no more. I got it. I got it.
Did he recognize it?
Well, he didn't have a
They
choice.
sent him home.
Well, but when the last team that trades for you says you don't have to. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because they sent him. The Clippers sent him.
They
home.
literally
went out on a road trip and then sent him back.
Well, hold on. Okay, so let's measure the diabolical natures. Diabolical is the theme of the
That was
show,
a
by the
guess.
way. Let's measure the diabolical. Which is more diabolical, sending you home or trading for you and saying you don't have to. Don't worry about it. Don't.
Well, that happens all the time.
You have to
That
go
part
away.
happens all the time.
Not to guys who are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Allen Iverson.
They at least allowed him to go back to. Didn't he go back? He left. His last team was Philly, right?
Or was it Detroit? Or was it Memphis?
The last
He
time
was at all of them.
Yeah, he went on a weird tour too. Iverson did go. It got weird at the end. It was like, when did you get to Detroit? Like, I didn't even know you.
He played in China for a minute too.
I think there was a point where teams were trading for Allen Iverson, and he'd be on their bench, and players would look down and say, "Hey man, where'd
you get here?"
I didn't even know you was here.
He was in Denver.
Memphis, Detroit.
I want to say he finished in Memphis. I think.
No, I think
It's either Memphis or Detroit.
I think it was Detroit.
If only we had a computer to look.
Yeah. We need a computer. Does anybody have a computer that we can look up his final and watch his final destination be somewhere like Cleveland?
It's gonna be so. Philly
or Washington,
Denver, Detroit, Memphis, and finished his career in Turkey. I knew he was playing overseas at one point.
Turkey. So some guy on the bench in Turkey was like, "What about Iverson?" Sorry, about Iverson. Like,
he has a citizenship there.
Apparently.
So he played one season in Detroit, played 3 games in Memphis before leaving the team.
That's rough.
Boy, NBA, when they retire you, boy.
And Chris didn't even leave. Chris didn't even leave because of play. He left because he had an opinion.
Well, his play too, because if his play could back up his opinion, he'd still be playing.
Well, that may be that. I think that's the point Ty Lue was making. I think that's the point Ty Lue was making. Like, fam, you can't even get on the court. Be quiet.
I mean, Kyrie was out here saying the world is flat. He was still playing.
You know what? I gotta say this though. Shout out to Kyrie for doing something that doesn't happen often, rehabilitating his image to a point where he went from, "Oh my God, what is this guy? Who is he? And why is he crazy?" to very, very much respected and
that's why he's gonna stay in
appreciated.
Dallas.
I don't think so.
That's
I don't think so. I'm telling you.
That's why he's not leaving Dallas.
Listen.
Who's that? Kyrie?
Yeah. Lloyd is convinced that Dallas is going to let Kyrie go. I'm convinced that he's not.
I think
they're not.
I think
Because they love Kyrie there, and they want the veteran leadership of Cooper Flag. They need a vet there. I mean, who's going to be a vet? PJ Washington. So,
you can get cheaper vets.
They can play. They'll be able to lowball Kyrie because he's coming off that injury. I'm laughing at First Take right now because Steven's A-list is top 5 things Commissioner Draymond Green would allow. 5 is stomping, 4 is slaps, 3 is chokeholds, 2 is groin kicks. Green. Yes.
Did I miss a breaking news? When did
I'm
that
sure
happen?
Draymond probably said something crazy.
Is Draymond on the show?
No.
Oh, okay.
Draymond has an opinion.
Yeah.
Hear me, Draymond Green. You are never going to be commissioner of the NBA.
No, I just want to see what they make number 1. Because like I said, number 5 is stomping, 4 is slaps, 3 is chokeholds, 2 is groin kicks. And they haven't said number 1 yet. Here's number 1. Yelling at refs.
He's done them all.
Oh yeah, they have video of every one of them.
He is the authority when it comes to all these things. So, you know. All right. Well, we definitely gonna revisit that whole experience with all of that. But What's the one thing you wouldn't mind seeing happen in the NBA this summer, Charlie? What's the one thing you wouldn't mind seeing happen? The one trade that you wouldn't mind seeing happen this summer?
Well, one, getting Giannis going somewhere else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's going. I know but it's just par for the course. I'm just a big believer that the way they treated Adrian, Adrian, he was the head coach, and Doc came and replaced him in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
How's he not gotten another job yet?
Because I don't know.
Narratives.
And so to me,
False narratives, but
this is all just par for the course for just that type of mindset, and treating people, disrespectfully.
Yeah.
There just has to be some tact to it all, and I'm just, I'm happy to see that it didn't work out.
You're happy to see that? Okay.
Yeah, because it just wasn't right the way they did
right.
it.
You're right.
And sometimes when those
they
things
brought in
happen,
a consultant, and the consultant said, "I think I can do a better job."
correct. That's my point.
Which is diabolical. Also, this is a very diabolical morning.
So I'm just happy that they weren't able to get it rectified. Their plan worked out.
You get what you put. You get what you do. You reap what you sow. I think the Bible talks about that.
Yeah,
you reap what you sow.
Yeah, man. You're not supposed to be rewarded for doing diabolical things. You're not supposed to.
Giannis wasn't diabolical enough.
It wasn't Giannis' fault. Yeah, it wasn't.
That's why he's
Giannis'
still in Milwaukee because he's not.
Right.
He didn't raise enough hell.
Yeah.
He needs to learn from James Harden.
Yeah, because when James is done,
just go ahead and just go and send him. Soon as he has an inch of wanting to go.
I'm not even sure James goes to the front office. He probably just sends a text like, "Hey, y'all need to figure something out."
Oh, I guarantee it's gonna be the most simplistic way.
Yeah.
If you watch Starting Five on Netflix,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what way.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. James be like,
Charlie, have you watched any of those? Charlie, have you seen Starting Five on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
They follow 5 players around for a season. They've done 2 seasons. The first season was LeBron, Ant, who I would have been fine if they just did Ant.
They didn't need anybody else. Ant by himself was a good time.
I think I may have seen some clips from that.
Yeah, it was LeBron, Ant, Sabonis. Was it Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum was in the first season. Yeah, he was
And it was because it was Jaylen Brown the second season.
Jaylen was the second season. Yeah. By the way,
the second season was James Harden, which again they could have just stayed with James Harden.
By the way, the trade I want to see is Anthony Edwards on a team where he can truly have a chance to win a championship.
Well,
Anthony Edwards is a good time.
So they're gonna have to make some moves.
Anthony Edwards is a good time.
He's so country.
He's so country, and he's
too much of a good time.
I know.
A little bit, but it's
again,
funny, though.
Which brings me to my point about Ja, which is the most hilarious point. Now talking about Anthony Edwards being the face of the league. He's got 5 baby mamas in like 2 years. Ja seems like a good dad to his one daughter that he has the more squeaky clean outlook. He's almost out of the league because that's how much of a fool he's acting. Come on, bro.
You can't give Ja Morant away now like you can't give a School Days VHS away. It's tough.
School Days.
Shout out to Living Color, by the way. Shout out to stuff out in these streets for Ja Morant.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
By the way, Was it the myth? What was I watching? I was watching the WWE, and there's a wrestler by the name of Trick Williams.
He's in town.
Listen,
He's in Louisville today. Now he's making the rounds at the TV stations and did all his interviews with no shirt on.
listen. Let me just tell you, the man has the most diabolical music of all time in wrestling. From the movie, you said Hard Out Here for a Pimp. What is the movie? Whatever the movie was that starred Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
How to Be a Pimp. How to Be a Pimp? What was the movie?
No, it wasn't How to Be a Pimp.
What is the movie?
Oh gosh, wow.
Hard Out Here for a Pimp. What was the movie?
Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. Doggone it. Couldn't remember the name of the movie.
It's supposed
But-
to How to Be a Pimp.
How to Be a Pimp. That's what
Who you think it was? Velvet Jones? I want to be a pimp.
That's what he was. He was a pimp. But what's funny is his interest music is Whoop That Trick.
Yeah.
And so what was funny is on Monday night, they were in Memphis, but he wasn't there. But the whole night, Memphis was singing Whoop That Trick. And I'm like, this is wildly inappropriate.
That's why I love Memphis. I love the city of Memphis. I love the city. Everybody from Memphis is crazy.
Memphis is a wild place. It is a wild place. Sometimes I don't even think it's real. Like, is this really happening?
Yeah, you have to be there to experience it. You don't leave Memphis without a Memphis store.
If you have never gone to Memphis and spent any time, you are missing something quite interesting. They are something else in Memphis. Shout out to Gold Teeth and Curls, who are alive and well. Alive and well in Memphis.
Yes, love Memphis. Shout out to M-Town.
Okay. So that's mine. That's Charlie. Do you have one that you want to see?
The season, I want to see.
This off
I want to see Ja traded to a contender with vets. That's what I want.
Any particular location?
I think Houston would be good for him.
Ooh.
If KD sticks around.
Only problem is,
But
man,
when Fred VanVleet will be back.
Well, but now KD's burner game is going to go to a whole nother level with John Morant. Like Fred
VanVleet coming back.
The day a trade with Ja going to Houston goes down, KD is going to buy a burner company. Like he's going to buy
or
10 phones lined up on the table, just tweeting all the time.
Game wise, I would love to see Ja and Ant together. Now, off the court,
wise, that'd be great.
Off the court is a train wreck.
Oh. You're not supposed to do that ever. You know how teachers, when we were in school, guys, they would separate two students because they know by having these two students together, there's nothing good happening in this classroom. That would be John Morant and Anthony Edwards. That is the inevitability of that becoming something crazy. It
happened to me in third grade with me and Terry Anthony.
Yeah. Oh, my best paddling came in the 7th grade with me and Jeffrey Faulkner in algebra class. We acted a fool, and Mr. Barnes was like, enough.
Yeah, me and Terry still boys to this day. We were college roommates.
Happens. You line up too. Charlie, you didn't act crazy in class, did you? You was probably.
I can see them have to separate.
Charlie, you muted.
I can see them.
I was a nice kid.
Oh.
They had to separate you and Sam Cassell in college.
Sam, you gonna sit over there, Sam?
I guarantee you, Sam was separated in every class he was being.
Have you? I know you've been busy, Charlie, but have you had a chance to check on Sam after the Joe Mazzulla throw off? Have you had a chance to?
What happened? I missed
it. Sam was trying to hold Joe back from going on the court, and Joe kind of tossed him to the side, and I was like, Joe kind of strong. Joe kind of strong.
Hey, man, Joe ain't to be.
Sam ain't no little dude.
Mazzulla ain't to be trifled with.
So he pushed Sam to the side.
Pushed, tossed. It's a very gray area right at this point, Charlie. I'm not really sure what definition we're going to go with here, but it did not look great for Sam, is what I'm saying. I would have thought Sam would be able to hold Joe, but clearly that wasn't the case. Joe was mad, though. He was pretty mad. He's pretty mad. I don't know why he was that mad.
I know Sam's been working out. Maybe his workouts need to be a little more.
He needs to work out with Joe. Hey, Missoula's not to be trifled with. He's one of those you just let him be. Do not mess with that man.
I would have let Joe just run out there on the floor and whatever happens, happens. Like,
well, you got to act like the get back coach. Everybody needs to get back coach.
Well, go get the strength and conditioning coach, because normally that guy can.
Yeah, but he's usually so far down the bench, he probably can't get out there in time.
Well,
See, Sam's right there.
Sam was right there. He tried.
Yeah.
Sam tried. I was like, whoa, man. It didn't work out for Sam at all. And that's on film right now. These things are filmed. That's the crazy part about it. Okay, those are solid. I like all those. I liked all those moments. It's gonna be an interesting summer though, for sure. For sure. So Charlie, your area is really nice. Like, I'm really looking at, like, Jesus, man. God has blessed you, sir. I gotta tell you, it looks amazing over there.
It's nice and peaceful out there in town.
It does.
It's warm here right now, though.
It's warm here. It's warm here. Yeah, it's very
in
nice.
The 70s here, so we got the same weather.
Yeah, it's very nice here. We're all 70s. Living.
Yeah, until tonight when the tornadoes come through and it drops back down to 40 tomorrow. But
well, the irony of our weather today, is that they just said, they just announced. I watched it this morning that it's going to get down to 27. At some point this weekend, and I'm like, we're
not supposed to get that low, but we got severe weather coming tonight.
Yeah, this just seems wrong. Like, it's gonna be 81 today and then 45 tonight. That's a very that's a big window of change. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, tell Trick I said hi if you see him. I'd love to.
He was at our station this morning, as I knew. He's like, I only watch wrestling, but as soon as you said that name, I was like, oh yeah, so he was at our station this morning.
Insanely talented kid, very, very, very talented kid, really, really talented. Okay, Charlie, we do a segment at the end of this thing where we talk about stuff we've seen. You haven't seen anything. Are you even allowed? Do you even have time to watch TV? Like, what do you do to relax?
Fool with us.
We're a good time, Charlie. We are a good time.
I watch TV.
Okay, what are you watching? What is Charlie Ward watching?
Sports.
All sports all the time? Is that what's going on?
I say it's all sports all the time, but my daughter, she likes watching programs.
Okay, so you'll join her from time to time.
Yeah, I figure Hope is the one that watches the TV in the house, isn't it?
So that's about it.
Full disclosure, Kendrick, when you're a girl dad, you're gonna watch some stuff that you don't normally watch.
Oh, trust me, I get it from you all the time.
I'm
crazy stuff you watch.
I'm in here I'm in here watching stuff.
You watch some stuff.
I'm going through an anime phase right now that I didn't expect to go through at this phase in my life. To be honest with you, but I'm enjoying it though. My baby's watching it. She's having a good time. I'm having a good time. So there you go. Charlie, do you have like $5 billion that you could let Kendrick and I borrow?
5 what?
5 billion. 5.7, really, if I'm being like.
What are you trying to?
The Seahawks are for sale. The Seahawks are for sale.
Oh yes, the Seahawks are for sale.
And since Kendrick and I have some time,
or maybe
like in the summer, we don't be doing nothing. Like we be taking breaks with the podcast, so we could theoretically run the Seahawks.
You can front it, and we'll make it up.
Call Al. Call Al. I bet you Al got 5.7 billion that he can spare.
Al got a lot of kids to pay for.
Al Houston.
Al Houston, they got a bunch of kids.
Al got a lot of kids.
Yeah,
I got 7.
Al is out here building his own basketball teams.
He's the NBA's Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
That's
the same wife.
family.
They're all from the
Yeah,
same lady.
wife. Yeah, same lady.
Shout out to his wife who signed up for the deal and followed through. I ain't mad at it.
Hey, ain't mad at hey.
Are any of the kids like? Any of the kids have? Because Al was shooting that thing this weekend, Charlie. Al still got the L. He still got the 90 degrees. It was. Al had that 90 degrees for his entire life. It looked good.
And real quick, because this will be my shout out for today anyway.
Okay.
Shout out to Al's dad, Wade, because yesterday they named the gym over at where it used to be Aaron's, but now it's the Brown School. It's the school he first coached at. They named the gym after Wade yesterday.
And well deserved. Wade is.
You won't find a nicer group of people than the Houstons.
The Houstons are a good time. They are a good time. They are. Wow, that's awesome. I know Al had 7 kids. You ought to blow my mind this morning.
I don't know how you didn't know.
Well, because I don't keep up with his kids like that.
But you keep up with like the most random stuff, though.
I do. I end up in weird places. I ain't gonna hold you. I do. I don't know how I end up here, but I'm like, how did I get here? Like, this is crazy. I don't even know how I got here. Okay. All right. Speaking of guilty pleasures, not even pleasure. It was weird. I had a weird night last night. I was working on some projects, and I like to have background noise. And one of the homies said, "Hey man, me and the wife just watched this American Next Top Model documentary. It's really interesting." And I was like, "Really? Like that's interesting?" Because I didn't watch the show, so I don't know anything about it. I didn't know that it was as cringy as it is. Like it was the show is very cringy. And
anything dealing with that world is going to be cringy.
How it stayed on as long as it did, like that show could not be done today at all, in no form. Kind of like in Living Color. You can't tell any of those jokes on TV today. Tyra Banks would be arrested immediately for everything she did in that show.
Where is it on?
It's on Netflix. But here's the thing that I walked away understanding about that as well. In our world today, there is a lack of, the only word I have is accountability for the actions of our past. And there is a deep desire to just move on. It happened, let's move on. I know slavery happened, but let's just move on. That's kind of where we are in the world today. Everybody just wants to move on. Things were different in the past, so let's just move on.
Just because you move on don't mean that it didn't happen.
All I'm saying, Charlie, all I'm saying, like, we'll move on, but also, can we acknowledge the fact that you did this thing and it was diabolical and it affected a lot of lives? Why is diabolical my word today? It's normally not, but it is.
You have said it a lot today.
I'm aware. I'm being self-aware. Like I'm going, what is happening?
Is that your word for today?
The word for the day is, diabolical. Apparently, because I've used it like 10 times. I don't know why, but anyway. But yeah, accountability. I watched the whole thing and I kept waiting for her to say I was wrong. I made a ton of mistakes, and she never actually said it. She just kind of like, well, it was a different time, different space.
Who is this?
Tyra Banks. She's like, yeah, I know that girl almost killed herself because of what we did, but hey, it was a different time. Like, wait, that's not you. We can't do that. We can't gloss over that. That seems wrong to gloss over it like it wasn't a thing that you did. You did this thing. So, and the fact that everything was so out of her control. Well, the network and it wasn't out of control. It was the higher ups. The show is called Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model.
Oh yeah.
You could have said something. I refuse to believe that you couldn't have said anything. Or here's a thought: remove your name from it, and say, if y'all keep this up, I'll walk away from the show, which is fine. So I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird thing to watch, but I did watch it. So
it was on Fox, and so they probably paid her a whole lot of money, so she shut up.
Oh, she paid. Yeah, I'm sure she did quite well because it was on a long time. I didn't know it was on that long. Like 20 seasons.
Yeah, but 20 seasons, and And reality TV can be like 5 years.
Right, exactly. Because they do like
They
they
do
do
it.
what they call cycles. So they were like
Yeah.
24 cycles.
Yeah. The seasons are like 10 episodes, maybe.
Right, exactly. I don't know if you can call them actual seasons, but whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I did watch that. So but what about you, sir? Mr. Kendrick Haskins.
I just started the latest season of whatchamacallit, Bel Air. I finished up Godfather of Harlem, and I'm watching Bel Air now. So
Okay.
it's
The
still
final
over
season of Bel Air is on. Yeah.
it's still over the top. It's way over the top. It's like now I'm watching it just because I want to see how it ends. I'm like, I've given up on it.
Without giving anything away, it's not going to get any less over the top.
I already know.
I'm just telling you.
I already know.
It's a victory lap for a certain person. Just let you know. All the way literally to the end. Literally to the end. It's like I'm the man. It's my world. And
it really kind of jumped the shark like halfway through season 2, but I've stuck with it just because I want to see it. I want to support it, and I want to see how it ends.
Same here. That was exactly my thoughts as well. I want to give a collective shout out before we give our shout out to the passing of one of the most impactful leaders, and I know controversial. I recognize some of the controversy that surrounds his legacy, but still, I choose to focus on the more positive aspects of who he was in Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was, and your frat brother, Charlie. Jesse was, for my lifetime, for the most part, inspirational. Like, you know what I'm saying? The hands that pick the cotton can now pick the president. Like, that's like one of the all-time quotes. And Jesse was the first to run twice for president. I'm not sure we get a Obama if Jesse doesn't crack that code.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So I'm sorry, but I choose to. I understand all the stuff, and I'm not gonna do that to his legacy. I know there are people out there that are doing that today, but I choose to just say, hey, Jesse was a good dude. He tried very hard to do the right thing, and that's where I choose to leave it. But
I saw him in the airport once.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't remember where I was.
Did he live up to the hype to you? Did he live up to the legacy?
I don't bother people. He's just sitting there chilling.
Yeah, Jesse
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I rarely do too. I saw John McCain. Matter of fact, I saw John McCain on an airplane literally after the election. And he was sitting in first class in a regular plane. I was like, this is crazy. Like, what is he doing here on this? There was Secret Service on it. I don't think, is that, you just said you saw Jesse Jackson. How am I being flexed?
Because you always flex with me and Charlie.
And that was a humble flex.
Can't argue that. That at all.
Because I had another one, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
No, you got no. Go ahead. With the shout outs. We normally don't flex the shout outs, but I'm gonna give you that one. That was for free. So go ahead.
When I went to
Flex away.
When John Calipari went to the Naismith Hall of Fame, I went up there to cover it, and on my flight back was Don Staley and Moses Malone. And it was
I
like,
don't even see that as a flex. I'm like, wow, that's
and
cool.
the crazy thing was like Moses died like a month later.
Yeah.
So that was
Wow.
wild. But
Wow.
I was on the flight with Don Staley
I like
and Moses Malone.
I'm a big Don fan. That's somebody I want to spend some time with and meet. I want to
She's
interview
cool.
Don.
I just want to hang out with Don.
It just seems like it's gonna be a fun interview, or we can just go get a burger. I don't really care. Just whatever Don wants to do that day, that's what we do it.
Yeah,
That's what we do it. So, but yeah, that's a collective shout out for Jesse Jackson. Charlie, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give today on game day?
Two of my guys. Two of my guys that I know have had great games the other day, or last night, or the other night, one night. Trey Donaldson at UM. I saw where he had like 32 points.
Okay.
Which was commendable. He's definitely putting his name out there, for the next level, and grateful that he's getting this opportunity. I know he's been to 3 schools in his college career, but he's a very good player, and I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity to showcase his talent, not just scoring, but I mean, he's just a complete player.
Yeah.
And then my man Darius Acuff
Ooh.
had
He's
a
a monster.
monster
Oh.
night, to say the
Oh.
least. Last night in a loss, which he had a couple times, or at least one time, he could have ended it on one of his shots. But the
That was
dude
a great move.
he's
That was a great
phenomenal.
play, and that was a great play on that last play. Clearly, fundamental. You get it, just get the ball up on the backboard and
Yeah.
either make it or it's there for a rebound. And they got everything they wanted on that play. The ball just kind of slipped out of the guy's hand when he was going for the dunk. But A-Cup was amazing last night.
He was
This
so
draft
hot.
class
I'll be honest with
is
you.
insane.
He was so hot from 3. I was like, "Oh, shoot it!" And then when he drove, I was like, "Okay, I get it." He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. I think he made the right
But
call.
we're not going to get carried away like Kendrick
Yeah.
Perkins currently is right now. As we speak, he's saying that A-Cuff is the best point guard that John Calipari has ever had.
We're not doing that.
Mind you, he had Derrick Rose, John Wall, Shea, Devin
We're not
Booker,
doing that.
Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox, and Tyrese Maxey.
We're not doing that with you. No.
I wouldn't say he's the best, but I'll say he is definitely in that class.
He's in that class.
He's the best he's the best since he's been at Arkansas.
He's been there for right. You've been there for 5 minutes, right?
Exactly.
Right.
That's
Exactly
if you want to
right.
say that,
Exactly
that's
right.
fine.
Okay.
But one thing I can say about Acuff is that I get a chance to see our coach and those other guys. I've seen him from afar, but the dude's amazing. Like he is one of the best point guards I've seen. He's scoring wise, but he seems to make the right play
Yes.
more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
And that is sometimes that's the determining factor. Because I've coached him at USAB, and I had him a couple of times on my team, and he made it easy. The easy part was here. You have the ball in your hands. We're gonna do this, and you then you do what you do. It makes coaching so much easier when you have a guy like that. Where
Give
you
him
know,
get out the way.
yeah. Here's the ball. Here's the ball. Make a play.
I'm not going to say he's the best player in the draft, but I'm not going to say that I wouldn't take him before I take everybody else. To be honest with you, I love the way he sees. I'm like you, Charlie. He sees the game the way you want your point guard to see the game, and that, to me, that's something that every team in the NBA needs. Like, you need a coach on the floor. He's got a lot of Rondo in his game, but he's a better scorer.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, but he's a better scorer. So how valuable is that to you is the question. Listen, I love the kid. I just think he's I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna be successful in any league, you gotta have good guard play.
If you're drafting for upside, okay, maybe you don't take him first. But if you're drafting for plug and play right now, I think it's a no-brainer. But we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely see how it goes. But
if you're Utah, he'd fit in great with what they have.
Oh my God, he would open up that whole team.
But you can't draft him. You can't draft a number one if you're Utah.
Why
Not with the
not?
bouncer there. Not
Why
with the
not?
bouncer.
But you got a front court. You don't need.
That's a PR nightmare. I mean, you're risking this kid getting booed at the draft.
Yeah, but history's going to reward you, though. I think history's going to reward you. Here's the challenge.
How do you take the bouncer and you already have what's his name who got drafted. They're the same
Yeah.
players.
That's
I
what
know.
I'm saying. That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
tough part.
I'd just take the Blues.
But you know how
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
with him being a Utah native,
I would take the Blues. I'm sorry. I just have to take it. They're gonna have to they're gonna have to be mad. Because guess what? When we start winning, all that mad's going away. That might be the missing piece to their run.
Unless they get rid of Ace Bailey.
they might get rid of Ace Bailey. Or they can put them together. I mean, the Rosen and Reed are the same player, basically.
I may have recency bias, but I love Acuff. I am a fan.
I love him too. And I think he fits in with what they want to do more. But I think Acuff fits in better with Utah than Bonsa does. But
him and Jaren Jackson together could be dynamic. Him and Jaren Jackson together is what Ja and Jaren Jackson should have been.
I mean, but if you say they're the same, I said DeRozan, but I meant Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the same player.
Yeah,
they won a championship.
It wouldn't be the first time a team has drafted the same player twice.
Yeah, so I can see.
I don't know. I'm just a fan of A-Cup, so I get it. I understand. All right. Did you give your shout out? You didn't give a shout out yet, did you?
Yeah, I did. Wade Houston.
That was
my shout out. Yeah.
That's the only one. Okay, all right. Once again, shout out to the wife for this lovely ensemble. That's why I'm wearing gloves in the house. I normally don't do that, but
I was like, "Are you about to go rob somebody when we get done?"
Well, listen, the wife hooked the brother up unexpectedly on Valentine's Day. Normally, Valentine's is all about my ladies, all of my ladies in this house. But she surprised me this year with gloves and a hat, and I looked nice, even though it's like 81 degrees out there right now.
Oh, it's 81 degrees, and you in there like you working on the docks.
I do have a fan on in front of me right now, so I have labored for this show. Let me just tell you, and the love of my life. I've labored for this show and the love of my life. She just peeked her head out like, really, I love you, boo. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Crazy.
So let's shout out to her. And then I was another shout out I wanted to give. I forgot just that fast. That's the old man moment. We'll move on. I'm sure I'll get back around to it at some point. But I've had a good time. Love seeing my guys. Love seeing this. You guys. Thank you for your support and definitely want to send thoughts and prayers to LaMelo Ball. That's a weird situation that's going on there. Not really sure what it is. That's why we haven't talked about it. In case you all were wondering, I don't know what it is. We'll see.
You say LaMelo?
Yeah, got into a little accident yesterday.
Oh, car?
Yeah, Hummer. But yeah, he hit a car.
You say he hit a car?
Mm-hmm. Hard. No loss of life, or it appears no serious injuries from anybody, but the cars didn't make it. Like they, and I don't, and the reasoning I'm still trying to flush out. So I'd rather just leave it alone for now because it's just not. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird story. So. With that being, I hate to leave on that note. Do we have anything more positive to leave on? I didn't. It just popped up on my screen. That's why I brought it up. But is there anything else we could like?
Apparently, somebody made an AI version of Paid in Full, starring the Ninja Turtles,
and that's how we're leaving. So. Turtles die every day, B. Turtles die every day. That's how we're leaving today. That's where we cue the whistle right there. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference. Here we go.
Well, all right.
Hold on 1 second. Don't say anything, guys. My screen is frozen. I'm trying to end the show. There we go. Did that do it?
Still says live up in the corner.
I was going.